Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the CasualProGamer. Today we're doing another Starcraft 1 versus 1 and this is AReS as the Zerg in the top left corner versus JuliaFlabat as the Terran in the bottom right. And we will have to see how this works out. So yeah, I started a little bit in there because well, I couldn't get the video started. But hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Well, it's only a few seconds, so we're still under a minute. So nothing has happened. So we are going to see the supply depot going down. We will see on the other side the Overlord coming up. And we see the little extractor trick, which gives him the ability to make one more drone. And of course it doesn't really result in that much of a difference, but well, sometimes it does make a difference to have that little bit of an advantage, and well, that's why we do it. Well, they. So yeah, we are seeing the barracks come up, and not a whole lot going on for the rest, of course, because this is still just farming it up. And of course the farm phase, so kind of the build-up phase, I guess, is very important because it makes. Well, it is the phase where you decide what to do with your strategy. So, for example, the fast expansion coming out here before the spawning pool, which means that he's not going to have Zerglings up for, well, a little bit. Of course, this is a pretty big map, and the scout is only now coming in. So, by the time the scout arrives in the base, he will have had time to build a spawning pool, which we are going to see right now. There you go. Spawning pool goes down, so by the time these Marines that are still not in production even, by the time they get there, yeah, it will be, oh, it's actually a Reaper. Okay, by the time that the Reaper gets there, there will be some Zerglings up, but the Reaper is a very good against the Zerglings, so we'll have to see how that works out. The Reaper can really maneuver around these cliffs, kind of jump up, do some damage, jump down, and of course he can still get surrounded pretty easily by Zerglings. But normally we only see 2 Zerglings being produced, and if that is the case in this game, then well, he will pay for that. So yeah, they are going to come up, the Zerglings. There they are. Only 2 are produced, and that means that this Reaper that is coming up is going to have some really nice time just, well, killing stuff. And oh, he missed the free kill there on the worker. Could have done a very good job. So, well, we are going to follow around this guy. Reaper currently still at 0. And oh, he's getting surrounded now, but is going to run back and try to micro against these Zerglings. The Queen is coming up, and the Queen is actually good enough to hold this off. Wow, that is very impressive. Going to jump down, and he is safe for now. He can heal up with the combat drugs, and that's exactly what he's doing. Yeah, but he does get scouted, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't get caught by the enemy units. Yeah, these Queens coming up was just in time, and well, it actually worked out pretty nicely. He's going to come in from behind here, but yeah, as you can see, the Queen actually saw that. It is there in place, and oh, he got out at a few hit points, but that was the first kill that is not really worth it at all. And well, by this time we see a factory up with some Hellions coming, and yeah, well, he took so much time, or she took so much time in microing that Reaper that, well, I'm not actually sure if that couldn't have been spent elsewhere instead of doing, well, 1 kill on a worker and a little bit of damage on one of the Zerglings. Really not a whole big deal. But it is nice to have that micro available to you when you actually need it. So yeah, now up to 3 kills, but also still, well, 1 worker and 2 Zerglings. That is not a big deal. So yeah, the Zerg player just going to swarm ahead. He's currently just building all kinds of crap. kind of building up his economy before this attack comes in. Well, the first real attack comes in. And the moment the first real attack comes in, we will see what the Zerg player can actually do to counter it. But for now, we are just building up. Both players just building up. The Widow Mine is out. Well, one Widow Mine is out. So Widow Mines can apparently be produced in or with a reactor as well, which means you can build quite a few of them. And they are relatively cheap, 75, 25. Which is about the same as a Hellion. It's a little more expensive because you get less gas than you get minerals. But yeah, it's a similar price, so you can actually well, rush a whole bunch of these Widow Mines. I'm not actually sure how much supply they need. The first wave of Zerglings comes in, and wow, just yeah, too many Hellions to go up against. They got damaged the first time, and the second time they just instantly melt. So yeah, it's 2 and 2. All the supply is 2. Well, then the tank is 3, and the Hellbat is 2, and the Thor is 6. So yeah, the Widow Mines, yeah, you can actually get quite a few of them out there as a defense, and if you can set them to hold, then that would actually be very nice. No, you cannot. So maybe there's a trick, like there used to be tricks all over the place to make units do what are things they weren't supposed to do, like a hold position on lurkers in Starcraft Brood War. But I'm not actually sure. So we will have to see how this goes. The mine is going to take some shots here. There you go. And yeah, the shots are pretty slow compared to the movement speed of Zerglings. But really, I've only seen these mines used as like scouting tools and just, well, yeah, things like that. We have the one Viking out. Oh, the blue flame upgrade is up, and as you can see, that just toasts Zerglings straight away. Very nice anticipation here, but yeah, well, he's not the only one, or she's not the only one that anticipated the moves, because the Mutalisks are already out, and the Mutalisks are of course flying, so there is no way that you can do anything against that with your ground units. With the ground units he had at this moment. Obviously, the Marines would be very good against it, and they are ground units, but well, we'll have to see. Vikings are of course the unit of choice here, but Vikings, well, need to have a decent amount of them, because if you have too low numbers, then they will still just get killed. Going to float off his command center for the simple reason that, well, he can't defend it over here, because, well, this is still up. He doesn't have any units to defend that, and the missile turret is going to be good enough. Come on, repair it. Oh, it almost goes down, but it stays alive. It stays alive. But they do pick up quite a few worker kills. 15 workers killed by now. And well, I'm should kind of stop moving around with one group of units, but it is the group of units that is currently well, worthy of my attention. And there you go, the Thor doing the damages. And of course these Widow Mines can also shoot air units, so that's actually really good, because, well, the Zerg player with his Mutalisk cannot see the Widow Mines, so yeah, because they're buried. And well, we'll have to see if this works out, because Thors are really, yeah, they're good against Mutalisks, but they're definitely not the best unit. So the scouting goes on, the barracks comes floating in. He's really not going for any barracks play at all. Where normally we see a lot of Marines, here we see a lot of factories, and yeah, even a little bit too many, because only 2 of them are working, and not even at full capacity, because, well, he can build so much more with it. And we'll have to see why he's doing that, or she. But for now, it's not really worth it. So the starport's also not doing anything. I kind of assumed it would be building some Vikings to deal with these mutalisks first of all, and then after the mutalisks are down, to just take out the overlords, because if you can one-shot overlords, that is a pretty good deal. So 5 Thors out now. Holy crap! Oh, he does have, or she does have quite. I'm assuming Julia is actually a female gamer here, but with these mines out, she's going to have a really nice setup to deal with well, with this whole army that's coming in, because she can actually scout pretty safely. So if you can burrow them in the way between your 2 bases, then obviously you can do pretty well with it. You can do pretty well, a whole lot with these mines, because they don't get scouted that easily. You have to build overseers or something like that to actually detect them, and that is not something that is very common for these kind of small things. Of course, there is an overseer out. Overseers are quite cheap, so yeah, as long as you keep the mines with your army, you should be safe, because you can take out the overseers no problem. And here we go. The roaches come out. The roaches are really good against armored units, and the Thors are armored. There are no SCVs with this. And are we going to see them melt? Oh, yeah, that really didn't do too much. But the roaches are still out. The roaches can still do this. And wow, just completely annihilating the Thors. Yeah, Thors are really expensive, and roaches are really not. And well, especially in build time. I mean, roaches cost so much less build time. Plus, you can build a whole army with it, no problem. Hang on. So let's see. The Thor costs 60 seconds to build, and it's 300, 200. Whereas the roaches are way cheaper. Not actually sure how to select that or how to see that, but currently, yeah, we are grouping up. So let's see really quickly what a roach costs. It's 75.25 with only 27 seconds to make. That is a big difference, because well, not only are they cheaper, so if you lose them, it's not a big deal. They do more damage than these guys do, the Thors, because you basically have to have 3 or have to compare 3 roaches to a Thor, and yeah, that is not going anywhere. So the Hellbat going to clean it up, well, 2 of them, and they are really good against Hydralisks, of course, but not against the roaches. Yeah, first light units, they do extra damage, and the damage normally, yeah, that's still pretty good. So I guess they're good against whatever. But it's these siege tanks that actually defended against the roaches, of course. We have some more Hellbats coming out. Hellbat's one of the new units in this this expansion. So the Heart of the Swarm expansion, just like the Widow Mines. And well, all in all, they seem to be reasonable to use for now. They're not like the greatest unit ever, but well, they do quite a bit of damage, and yeah, they can do splash damage as well. But unfortunately, yeah, running them in like that is not going to make them very efficient. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Anyhow, we have a Widow Mine out, but that's about it. So only the one. Really, yeah, nothing else. There's a Changeling over here. He is just chilling. Doesn't really care what's happening for the rest. He's just scouting that one little spot on the map. And yeah, we have an Overlord over here for some vision. And I'm just waiting for armies to move out, man. I am just waiting for that. Because the next big fight might actually end it if he loses all of, or if she, sorry, loses all of these tanks. That might actually be it. But we'll have to see how that works. On the other hand, I don't know why we're still producing banelings. Banelings are not good versus tanks, and they're only reasonable versus these hellbats, because the hellbats will probably kill most of them before they detonate. And hellbats, yeah, they are light, sure, but well, they're not that expensive, and you can't get a whole group of them, so they do extra damage versus light, which is excellent. But here we go. We are going to go on the roaches though, and here you go with the banelings. The banelings do some damage, but it's not nearly enough to pay off for them. And the hellbats are still alive. The 2 of them got killed or something like that. It's really not a big deal. And he can now march in. All of the tanks still available. He lost like 2 tanks. Lost like 2 tanks. And that is not enough to make that worth it. And yeah, oh, they're actually really relatively effective against these roaches. Not bad. I kind of expected less damage on those roaches, because roaches are normally very good against any anti-light unit, because well, they are not light units. And as you can see, just completely cleaning up with these tanks. Lots of tanks still available, and the 1 Thor. So we are going to march forward. These 3 hellbats. I want to keep calling them firebats, but the hellbats are going to take out the expansion, and we have some drones coming in here, and that is not going to work out for him. Anyhow, yeah, the army retreats a little bit. It's going to try to find another spot. Oh, this expansion did not go down. That is interesting. The command center is upgrading to a planetary fortress. If these drones are still here, they're going to get owned by the fortress. But for now, they're not. They're not there anymore. Maybe they will return. But I think he has. He has enough micro to make that work. To make sure that they don't return. Oh! 2 of them do return. Bam, bam. Oh man. So here we go. Oh, the scans now have a vision range. So it shows you how far the vision actually goes. And that is excellent, because, well, that has been lacking for quite a bit. Yeah, people didn't know where the range of the scan was. So yeah, if you don't know where it is exactly, then you don't know where you can expect to know what's going on. And this is a large grouping, and it is going to take out this no problem. Hydralisks have a huge amount of damage. As you can see, 15 damage, but also a very high weapon speed and a good range. But yeah, they do very high damage, and all in all, that's just something you definitely don't want to see in your base. A group this big, but they're going to suck against these tanks, because these tanks are going to splash them down, no problem. And he's trying to rebuild this immediately. Really? That is not gonna work, because that drone is going to get intercepted and killed. There it goes, and there goes the expansion, or the potential expansion I should say, because, well, that was never going to happen. And here we go with the Hellbats and the Thors against these guys. But the tanks, as I said, will do splash damage and will have no problem taking this down. So lots of units lost here from both sides. And yeah, that's actually awesome. Because, well, that's exactly what we want to see, of course. We want to see those big battles where both teams lose a whole lot. And here we go. No, he ran in with those firebats. Hellbats. And that is not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to have them run back to your tanks, and then if the hydralisks follow, you actually shoot them with your tanks. So some more units coming in, but look at this, so much farming going on. And yeah, both sides have plenty of minerals and gas left to rebuild their armies. Obviously the Terran player doing a little bit better at this moment, but also a little bit behind in the amount of units. But there you go. Now they're equal. But still lots of gas available. And yeah, Terran units are so good at just holding positions that once they grab a position, it is really difficult to, well, take that from them. One of the tanks goes down to the broodlings from the command center. And holy crap, so many hydralisks. Yep, that's 2 pages almost full. And how are we going to be able to do this? Because, well, now we're running into tank fire. And as I said, tank fire is not good for your hydralisks. So many of them go down, but they do get the, well, the entire tank line destroyed. But are we going to be able to produce more? Well, there are some tanks still left. And we are now going into starport mode. Building all kinds of starports. Let's see what comes out of these starports now. Raven, and then what else are we going to do? I don't know. It seems that, well, the Raven is just for the detection, but maybe he's or she's going for a Raven strategy, which does actually exist. We've seen it in the beta, where people would go for for these auto turrets, and the auto turrets are actually really good at taking down, well, if you have a massive amount of them, they're good at taking down bases, they're good at holding everything. And why is this roach here? Why does he not see that, or she not see that her expansion after lifting hasn't really done anything anymore? Because she needs that mining expansion. This is the only mining base currently, well, of minerals anyway. And we are currently mining plenty here and here for the, well, this is not mining at all. But yeah, the Terran player a little bit behind in mining, and that means that, the Zerg player actually might pull it off in the end. Because he's just mining, but we do need this expansion as a Zerg. So we'll have to wait for that, of course. Because, well, the Zerg player needs to have some dominance. And once he has that dominance, once he can say, well, I have a bigger army than you do, then he can expand while attacking. Normally you want to expand while attacking, of course. And here comes the big army. This is probably going to be one of the last fights. Because if someone loses this, yeah, well, there you go. Apparently losing his entire army. He didn't have anything anymore. Well, he had a few roaches left and no hydralisks. Yeah, it was completely done. So yeah, I think I missed. I think I missed a fight there in the end, because how else did he lose his entire army? Oh yeah, I can see it now. This fight. I think I missed this fight. Once again, running into the tanks with his hydralisk army, and hydralisks are not good versus tanks. I've said it a few times already. Yeah, I was watching the top, this part of the fight where he was trying to, well, take down the expansion. Anyway, let's see if I missed something else, because it seemed kind of strange that he didn't have any units anymore. But yeah, he kind of lost that one fight and then had to GG out here. Nice amount of tanks produced, by the way. Just so many tanks. And I don't know why AReS, who's a veteran player, didn't go for, well, roaches or something to deal with these tanks. But only went for hydralisks. Maybe he was just derping around. Maybe they're friends. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.